Welcome to World of Marketing Podcast, a Foster Web Marketing production. Here's your host, Tom Foster.
Hey everybody, it's Tom Foster in the World of Marketing, here with my buddy, Dr. Marybeth Crane. How you doing?
Hey Tom. I'm fabulous.
There you are down in North Dallas, right?
Yeah, we're right by DFW Airport. We're like halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth.
I feel like I have to say North Dallas 40 every time I say North Dallas, which dates me.
It definitely dates you.
Back in my day, TV stars couldn't say booby, tushy, burp, fanny burp, water closet, underpants, LBJ, titty caca.
People are like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, we know what it means because we're both.
We know what it means. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
So here it is. It's right after Labor Day weekend. And you and I last did a podcast last year.
It was, what was it? October, November, something like that.
And that was...
Yeah, we were in San Antonio.
Right. And that was at the Top Practices Conference. And you had just, great year. Everything's wonderful. And a couple months later, boom. Here we have this thing going on, the pandemic.
You could not have anything that has happened in 2020. In fact, I think it's probably, if we had read about it, say in 2018, we'd get science fiction. There's no way that this is going to happen. So it's been interesting, to say the least. Yeah,
no one could have predicted any of this stuff, and it keeps it coming. Like everything.
Yeah. We had the 1918 flu, followed by the 1930s stock market crash, followed by the 1960s race riots.
Yes.
And now we're going to do like the election all over again. Yeah, this should be interesting to see what happens.
And the fires. I mean, like everything. But
yeah, it's insane.
This is I try to keep this podcast inspiring and motivating. And you are one of those kinds of people that's inspiring and motivating. And, you get up and you get going and get your things going. There's a lot of noise over there.
We certainly try.
And so tell me what you did to keep things going during when the pandemic hit.
Well, the first couple of weeks, we were all just kind of scrambling, trying to figure out what the heck is going on and how long this is going to last. I mean, we investigated telemedicine for podiatry, which is like stick your foot up to a video. I mean, it's like ridiculous. And Lori and I actually sat down and said, all right, we've got to do something to get people in here, or at least to get some revenue. So we tried to think, how can we make money off of our existing patients where they don't have to show up to the office? And that was second pairs of orthotics, new orthotics off their old mold. We put together an Infusionsoft campaign that started with, did you know orthotics come in different flavors, different types? And then how do you know if your orthotics are worn out and you need a new pair? How to troubleshoot your orthotics if you hate them. And we also talked about the fact that at this time and juncture, we're going to give you half off a second pair of orthotics. If you were casted within the last 2 years, we'll mail them to your house. And if you need a new pair of running shoes, you can buy them from us, and we stick them in the box with the orthotics for free shipping. So we got some of the shoes out of the shoe store. We did somewhere on, in fact, I did a REM call on it. I think we did 160 pairs of orthotics in 1 month, which normally we do like 40 or 50 in a normal, and this is when we're seeing like 30 patients a week, where normally we see like 100 patients a day. And so it was crickets in the office, but yet our Infusionsoft campaign really helped to get those extra pairs of orthotics. And really, I mean, when you think about that is, at least $250 a pair, you do the math, it kind of helped pay the rent.
So
And then
what inspired you to do that? Like, what were the campaigns? Was it like everybody's out walking around and running anyway? Like, let's get out there and tell me a
that
little
was
bit about.
exactly it. Everybody, you see neighborhoods, everybody that was on lockdown
Yeah,
is going stir crazy. They need to do something to burn off the crazy. So people were pulling out their old running shoes and going for a walk. And then we're doing telemedicine visits for plantar fasciitis. I mean, everybody's getting
that's great.
hurt. And it just kind of clicked that these people don't have to come into the office. We could do a telemedicine visit, diagnose what's going on with them, kind of give them stuff that they can do without coming in. And oh, by the way, we can get you a second pair of orthotics. And all of my diehard runners, which I have like a whole tribe of them, were like, this is a way to get a second pair cheap. They're normally $550. And they're like, hey, this is a special. And everyone's internet shopping,
Sure.
so they're like, why not do it with us? And then I think probably the other thing that we did that was really kind of fun was that when people started coming back in, the quarantine was raised, you're supposed to wear a mask and do all this stuff. We did a video with every single doctor talking to their own patient population, telling them what we're doing to keep them safe and why it was really okay to come in, especially if you're not part of the special population of immunocompromised or really elderly. I did notice, though, this is kind of funny.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. And the 80-year-old people were more likely to come in right at the end of quarantine than the 25-year-olds. It was like, they were like, the heck with this, I am done. And, I'm 80 years old anyway. If I get it and die, I'm fine. And even my parents,
Wow.
I mean, it was funny. My parents are 80 and 84, and my uncle lived with them as well, and he's 90. So imagine you got 80, 84, 90, all living together. I'm delivering groceries to them. Don't go out of the house, for a month. And then my father just calls me and because, look, you better just bring some masks over here because we're leaving the house whether you like it or not. And I am getting out of here. And you don't need to do my grocery shopping anymore. This is ridiculous, And I was like, okay. And the patients were the same way. The little old ladies would come in because they were like, I need to get out of the house. We knew that you were safe. And so this is our trip for the day.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's so, it's great that you just pivoted like that and were strategic like that and made those steps and made those moves and reached out to your people and let them know, hey, it's okay. It's okay to come on in. It's okay to come see us. We're going to take care of you, and let them know. And that's what people want to hear during these times.
Absolutely. I think the one thing is that we just tried to sit there and go, okay, we are our patients. So what are we concerned about? How can we answer those concerns? How can we get it out to them? And you would be amazed. I mean, our first set of videos had like a 50% open rate.
Wow.
Who gets that? It's because people are sitting there, they're bored out of their skull, and they're like, oh, what's Crane got? Let me click on that, So it's now down to like 35%, which is still really high.
Well, but here's another thing too, everybody. I mean, like, here's the thing is that it's people buy from people they like, and you have a list of people that have been buying from you that love the brand of Marybeth Crane and love the brand of Dr. Crane. They're connected to you in a variety of ways and connected to the other doctors. And so it's really just, I mean, this is just a clinic that you're showing everybody of really just during these times of crisis, reaching out even more so. A lot of people are like, oh no, I don't want to bother people. No. This is exactly the time when you need to reach out and let people know, hey, I'm here for you, especially as your doctor, And the more,
and we had a lot of people who didn't realize we were open because we never closed.
Right.
We went down to like 2.5 days a week. All of the doctors took no salary so that we could pay the staff. We had to lay off a couple of people because they had kids at home and had no childcare. So they took a voluntary layoff. But really, nobody was losing paychecks. And we were lucky because Lori is like so super efficient that I swear we were the first person in line to get the PPP loan at Chase,
Right.
and we were funded in that and we were funded in that first group of people where they ran out of money after like 2 days.
Right.
So we had that cushion as well. But yeah, I think it's a resiliency is what gets you through these times, because this too shall pass. You know, this.
Well, look, can I back up and let me ask you this question? Because I know you pretty
Absolutely.
well. You're tough. And anybody that knows you knows that you're tough. And so when this first happened, and we kind of like we're presented with it, and we're kind of like the aha moment of like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, they're shutting us down? You know what I mean? Like, was there a moment when you were like, oh, we better get our act together? Let's, we got to go to war here. We've got to, get our marketing act together. Was there a moment where you had that thought?
I definitely, when they shut down elective surgeries, that was our aha moment that this is not going away in 2 or 3 weeks. I think that at the beginning, we all thought this is going to be a 2-3 week, maybe a month thing. We can get through that. We have cash reserves. We'll be fine. But when they told us that there were so many people in the hospital that they wanted us to stop doing elective surgeries, we were like, whoa, this is real. And after doing the accounting and sitting down and going, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do, and cut every corner that we possibly could, then we sat down and said, how can we get people in here? Or at least, again, how can we get people to give us their money when they don't even come to the office?
Right.
That was really the thinking. And then, on the flip side, how can we get people in here as fast as humanly possible when it's safe?
So a couple questions there. Did you have any staff like panicking? Like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So you had to pull people together.
We had a couple of people who decided not to come back. They took a voluntary layoff, then they were offered their job back, and they're still freaked out.
They're like, no, I don't want to come back. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we still have a couple now, but we've got so many layers to try to keep everybody safe. I mean, the office smells like a bottle of Pine Sol. I mean, you just walk through and it's like, I haven't smelled that much Pine Sol in my life. You probably get high from it, but patients hit the front door, you take their temperature, they go straight to a room. So there's not one person waiting in the lobby. We staggered the patients so that there's no backlog. In the beginning, we actually had people wait in their car. And then we realized that we had enough rooms. We could just literally go from street to room. But even with all those layers of things, we still had people that were concerned, and so we did some telemedicines for some patients that were a little squirrely. We wear N95s all day long. I swear I have callus at the end of my nose from the mask. I was joking when we started that this is the first time I had lipstick on in probably 2 months, because who sees your mouth? But, you hunker down, you answer the questions that are in people's heads. What paranoia is going on in there, and how can I give you the answer before you even realized you asked the question? So.
Yeah. And like, was Lori the one that kind of pulled all the logistics together for all of that stuff? Like
Lori
everything,
did all the administration stuff, but our marketing team kind of put everything else together, because we can't, like right now, I have a new doctor that literally started July 1st, and we can't market her in any way but the internet, so
right.
So we literally did funny videos where I was standing in the lobby going, I'm so excited. I can't wait to tell you about it, but they won't let me tell you until tomorrow. So open your email tomorrow, and then I'll tell you what I'm excited about. And that would get the person, and then we sent out another one the second day that was me going, we have this new person and she's awesome, and she's going to tell you all about herself tomorrow. And then we sent out a third one that was her, and it was really funny because she's young, she's fresh out of residency, she's just really fun, but the whole video thing, she's not super comfortable. It took like probably an hour to do like a 2-minute video, but she's great in the end. It was just, we were laughing so hard. The blooper reel is going to be amazing. But
that's great. You do that though. I mean, like that just, once again, that's just, to your list. Here we are. Here's your favorite doctor. Come and have fun. I mean, and that just reminds people on the list that were just sitting there dormant. Oh, maybe I should go. I wasn't thinking about my hurt foot before, or maybe my foot wasn't even hurting, but now it is, miraculously.
Yeah.
And I want to go get it looked at by my funny doctor who I love.
And I think they wanted to come visit, make sure we were okay. I swear,
right.
I did more social visits.
Are you okay?
How are you? Are you okay? I even had patients who came in, especially like mid-April, beginning of May. They would come in and go, well, I just figured that you probably needed my copay, or I've met my deductible, so this office visit doesn't cost anything, and I thought maybe you needed the revenue. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And people were just,
that is so
they
good.
thought about you that way. And I was very touched by that. And I was also, I was really, really surprised how quickly we went from we're seeing nobody to we're back booming. I mean, by the end of May, it was probably 6 weeks. I mean, by the end of May, we were back to normal. June, we were like 125% of normal. Wow. And we've been pretty steady. I mean, we're at I know that June was kind of like the rebound month where there was all this pent up demand. But even July and August, with everybody's vacations and things and the chaos of, are we going back to school or are we not going back to school? We still were at like 90 to 95% of normal. And, year to year comparison. So I'm quite pleased with that. It just shows that people really go to the doctors that they like. They go to the businesses that they like, and that we're necessary. I mean, everyone is exercising like crazy. I think probably
what did you say? Everybody's exercising like crazy?
Exercising like crazy. I mean, it's people have almost a low level of anxiety about just breathing right now. And throw in the fact that we actually started in-person school in our town 2 weeks ago, and all of the moms are going insane. Because if they chose to go in person, they're worried their kid's going to get sick. If they chose to do virtual academy, because they gave you the option, then is my kid going to miss a whole year of school because I don't know how to do algebra, kind of thing. Before that, we were joking that we're going to have an entire generation of kids that are being educated by day drinking moms. But now we had the choice. And
I know.
It's just people are anxious, and because they're anxious, they exercise. And if you are lucky enough, like me, I got my Peloton coffee cup here, but we have a Peloton tread as well as a Peloton bike, and we had them before the pandemic so that we could work out early in the morning. Those things are, every single one of our college kids was using it. I mean, it was literally, we had to take a number to who's going to exercise on it. And our neighborhood is full of people walking and jogging, and most of these people haven't done anything in like 15 years. So of course they're all getting hurt. Hence,
right.
Go visit your favorite podiatrist who might also be a runner. So
it's true. And people that's a great point, because people are out walking and running that have never done it before. And they're like, what is this? I feel like I'm walking on glass. They have no idea what that is. They have no idea that is plantar fasciitis. So common. I walked around with it for years, not knowing what the hell it was. And until I, met you guys, and I was like, oh, there's a name for it.
There is. And the number of stress fractures that are happening just because of too much, too soon, too fast syndrome.
Right. And all you have to do is just what Marybeth has done, is go out there and remind your list, hey, here I am. Here we are.
Yeah. We're not doing a lot of external marketing. We're not doing a lot of external marketing to the world. We're doing a lot of internal marketing to our list, because those people they know us, they're comfortable with us, they understand that we're going to do everything to keep them safe. The only external marketing that we're really doing is more Facebook and Instagram, and it's more just reminding the world that we're out there. And that's been interesting. I mean, I've gotten a lot of people asking good questions and actually asking for appointments on Facebook. And
how about referrals? Are you getting any referrals from your existing patients?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we
You always
get
get
lots and
that.
lots of referrals. We actually get more referrals from our own patients than we do from primary care physicians.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just because the primary care, what's interesting is the primary cares are dead because everyone's scared to go to their primary care physician. What, that person's coughing next to me. What if they have COVID? You know, because the ER is telling you, unless you have a fever of 101.5 and you can't breathe, go to your primary care. And so their offices are dead because everybody's scared of them, where they're not scared to come to the podiatrist because they're thinking, yeah, no one's going to go to the podiatrist with COVID.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, you're right. It's safe, you know, and
It's safe. And we
funny.
fostered that. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's funny to think about, but it really is true that primary care gateway is really not there right now because people are afraid to go unless they're dying.
And it's the farthest point from your face.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you stick your foot in your mouth, which I do
Right.
from time to time, then you're pretty much safe.
There's another marketing alley. It's
Yes,
the farthest point
They
from your
say
face. Go to the
don't
doctor.
touch
That's
your
the
face.
farthest
Don't do it
point
with your
from
toes either.
Good.
That is funny.
So, I mean, obviously you are no rookie, no amateur. You've been doing this for a long time. You were able to just kind of, point and
Yeah, we just tweaked it.
go.
We had a similar, not even close to similar situation, but about, I'd say 10, 15 years ago, a lot of the insurance companies started dropping people, and we had some issues where we didn't take people's insurance and things. And this was way before we were savvy with the internet, and we sent out like snail mail letters to people that explained, hey, we may not be on your insurance, but understand that an office visit is only $48. So if you need to be seen, it's not ridiculous to come and see us. We have a cash pay price that is significantly reduced from what we charge your insurance company. And we are a better choice. Why are we a better choice? Because we know you, because you've been here, we have all your records, so please don't be afraid to come visit us. And that really got a lot of patients that were of this particular work group, American Airlines, that had dropped, their insurance company had dropped like half of the podiatrists. They had a specific little contract with just a group of guys who were a bunch of yahoos. And so people chose to pay out of pocket because we reminded them that we're not expensive, that you're not going to drop $500 unless you want to on a pair of new orthotics, but just to come in and say hello, you're not going to drop a chunk of change. So
That's awesome.
And similar type of thing. And so you just have to think, what is my
Right.
challenge and how can I answer this challenge? Is it, I need to get more efficient? Yes, we did. We had to get more efficient. We looked at the office and redundancies and what can we do to cut cost without cutting quality. How can we efficiently run all the patients through here without anybody breathing on each other in the lobby? Do we have to change our hours? Do we have to change how the staff is? And we changed a few jobs around. We have now a medical assistant who's called the runner, and literally they run the patient from the front desk to a room. And like, have a seat, here's your paperwork, and someone will be in just a few minutes. Do you want a cup of coffee? Kind of thing. And that job didn't even exist in February. I would have thought that was ludicrous. Why does the patient need to be taken from the lobby into a room? But we didn't want anybody waiting. So literally her job is just to run people back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
But people got to love that. I mean, like that,
Oh, yeah.
love that like attention. It's like having a host, like being seated at the table. I mean, like that, it's interesting. The good things that have come out of this, like that, like just the tweaks to, that have made things better.
Yeah, I definitely, I know that there's things that we do now that we're much more efficient than we were before. And we also identified redundancies in our protocols, things that really just didn't need to be done that took extra time. We even found that, there were some like over-the-counter products that we were carrying that, that's been sitting there for 6 months. Do we really need 12 of them? and started cleaning closets. I mean, because we had a few weeks where it was like crickets in the office, and it was a great time to just start cleaning and, you know, just going through things. I mean, everybody did it at their house. I'm sure your wife cleaned the pantry. I'm sure that she's gone through every junk drawer and every closet because people need
Yeah.
stuff to do.
Yeah, we did all that. Well, you know, my wife's a teacher too. She just went back to work this last week is when they went back. And so they're doing all that. Today she's getting more training on virtual and all this. It's pretty crazy, man. But you have to
God
adapt.
bless her.
Yeah. And that's really the lesson, is that you can either, you got a choice. You can hide. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people are like, oh no, I'm going to wait until this goes away. Well, you're going to wait a long time. It's not going away.
It's not going away anytime soon. And even when a vaccine is available, are you really going to get a vaccine that you don't know what the side effects are? Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people waiting. Sure, there's going to be the guinea pigs out there. But I think that this is going to be probably another 18 months before we get to the other side of it, to whatever normal looks like, because it's not going to look like this. And it's not going to look like what we looked like in February. Right. And so you got to be adaptable. I mean, we even found in our marketing stuff that there was stuff that just needed to be cleaned out that really wasn't working. And so I think with everything that you do, you have to look at, okay, so it worked 10 years ago, but it might not work now.
Sure.
You know, and there's different
stuff.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take the opportunity. I was amazed that some of my colleagues actually closed their offices voluntarily and laid off their entire staff. And I was like, are you insane?
Yeah.
You know how expensive it is to train your staff? And if you lay off everybody, they're going to go grab a job somewhere, anywhere, and they're not coming back. There's a few that would, but most of the time, they're not coming back.
Yeah, I had people all over the place for various reasons, and you know, I, like you, we didn't lay anybody off, and I was very happy about that. And we didn't get the first round; we got the second round. But
you didn't have Lori.
We didn't have Lori. I'll have to give Raz Buster about that. But we've been virtual ever since. It's funny because we just kind of we turned virtual and have been Zooming it ever since. And I've offered, you know, the office is there. It's like a ghost town. It's like you can go there.
I know. Like, I don't think I want to be in commercial real estate right now, because I have a feeling that on the other side of this, a lot of those big, gigantic buildings are going to be empty.
Yeah, well, Google, my son-in-law works for Google, and they're saying don't come back till next July.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah. The virtual world, the world of, you know, that we exist in, the digital world. Now, you obviously physically need to see people. That's part of the job, big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be a podiatrist without touching people.
Sure.
So we do have to, but I'll tell you, it's cheaper to get on the internet. It's cheaper to market to your list. I mean, thank God we had an Infusionsoft, you know, all set up and ready to go, so we could just blast it out to the world. You know, and you have to be adaptable.
Yeah. And don't forget your amazing, awesome website.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our awesome website is amazing. It's amazing. It's been amazing for a long time. And, you know, and even that we had to tweet. If you remember what the website looked like when we first launched it, I mean, gosh, that was so long ago. It was like, it was decades ago. It was decades ago when the internet was just a tiny little thing. And then you look at what we have now, and it's so different.
Yeah, and you didn't really, I mean, and that's what I mean is you've learned so much since then. And back then, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying.
I think your website was like a business card. You know, you just existed. And then we started putting a little bit of content, and we started putting video up there, and, started doing more blogging. And then we started to get more interested in what it looked like graphically. And now it's so much more intuitive and interactive. And it really, I mean, if you have a great website, you're dead in this virtual world. You're dead.
Everybody goes there. Everybody goes there eventually. And, yes, all your CRM campaigns, whether it's Infusionsoft or Entreport, HubSpot, Survey Monkey this, whatever, I can't name them all.
Yeah, exactly.
DSS,
all of all the 400.
Whatever you're using, use something.
Companies.
And you're driving them to, whether it's a funny video introducing a new doctor, or, Marybeth Crane running or doing whatever she's doing, or showing, a testimonial. You want to put that on your website and your YouTube channel and pump that out to your list, or provocative blog posts. And even still, when somebody says, "Oh man, my heel is killing me," well, you should go see a podiatrist. You should go to mine, Marybeth Crane. She's great. Well, what are people going to do? They're going to go type.
They're going to go to that. They're going to go to the one that is referred to them.
Yeah, and they're going to go pull out this device.
Yes.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to type in Marybeth Crane, and that's
why I own marybethcrane.com.
Yep. And they're
so all you have to do is put my name in.
And the website, everything. And that's true of all of you doctors out there.
Yeah, you should always own your name and have it forwarded to your primary website.
Yeah.
Because that way people they put your name in, bam, you're right there.
Yeah.
But I think about how we had to adapt the website to be mobile friendly. Yep. Because I would say, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but probably 75 to 80% of the hits we get are from a mobile phone.
And it's only growing. And that's another thing that Google knows. And Google is going to be making big changes here in the next months to come on the way that the users work with websites, and especially the way that they work with mobile websites. And so it better look at your website, look at it on your smartphone, because a majority of your traffic is coming to the smartphone. And if it looks like crap, and if people don't know what to do and they get confused, if you're confused on your own website, your patients are definitely confused.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I think that it's important to go to your own website at least once a month and just take a look at it and go, did something get jacked up? I mean, sometimes the graphics are off, or something got shifted by accident, and, you can fix it immediately.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
It does. Especially now. I mean, everything is so media driven, and, if you're changing up your videos so that people can see them, and you're cross-posting on Instagram and on Facebook and whatever else. I mean, we don't do Snapchat and all that because we're not 12, but my girls do.
TikTok? You're not doing TikTok yet?
TikTok, we're not doing. Although we joked with the medical assistant that we were going to do some TikTok videos.
I know, you should do TikTok. Yeah.
Have us dancing around the lobby or something. And hey, we might do that. It might be fun.
Yeah. I figured of any podiatrist firm, that you would be the one to do a TikTok channel.
I'm not against it. And I probably could get my 13-year-old to help me.
I'm sure.
Because she loves TikTok.
I was about to ask you, so what's next for you, Marybeth Crane? But I think it's maybe a TikTok channel.
Maybe it's a TikTok channel. Absolutely. No,
what's next?
A year ago, we talked about the fact that I was kind of winding up private practice, and, trying to figure out what Marybeth 2.0 looked like. And we are in negotiations with my partners to retire. We haven't put a firm date on it yet, but it'll definitely be within the next, year and a half. Wow. It might be as soon as January. And then, we'll probably launch a Marybeth and Lori consulting firm. So, but we'll see what happens. We haven't quite hammered out all of those details yet. COVID made us a little, it was very well planned until a pandemic hit. So,
Well, I don't
you know,
think that
but
can
we've,
stop you from doing. Nothing can stop you.
it's, I have to say that one of the things that made me a successful endurance athlete is that I'm the most stubborn person on the planet, and quit is not a word that I even know exists. So, it's not how many times you fell down, it's how many times you got back up and what you did when you got back up. So, we'll figure it out. We just have to put a timetable together.
Well, you keep us posted.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to take that job with Foster Web Marketing that you offered me a few years ago.
Okay, that sounds good.
Or the TikTok channel.
It's
That would be
always
fun.
open. It's always open for you. All right, Marybeth Crane. Well, thank you so much for spending an hour with me. Well, not quite, but some time with me today, and sharing some of your marketing strategies with us. And we look forward to checking in with you maybe in January to see what's going on.
Absolutely. Tom, thanks for having me. It was my pleasure. It's always fun to talk to you.
Always. All right, everybody. It's Tom Foster and Marybeth Crane on the World of Marketing. You guys stay safe.